Hello, my name is Melvin, and I'm here today to give my testimony about this amazing product that has changed my life and is continuing to change my life. This amazing probiotic. So you know, I've literally been taking this just for a few weeks. So because of the I'm going to say the gravity of the impacts, because I've actually asked to do this. I wasn't asked by the company. I've asked to do this because of these life-changing things that are starting to take place. So because of that, let me just give you a little bit of backstory. When I was 17, I'd already been working for a couple of years at an engineering company, and I started to get these severe stomach pains. So I would go to the doctor, and the doctor would check me over, the local GP, and he would say, "Terry, you are a healthy young boy, can't find anything wrong with you." So every few months, for 2 or 3 days, I would get these severe stomach pains. I would go to the doctor. After that happened a few times, that then progressed to severe constipation, where for the following 10 years, I was going to the toilet once a week, once every 10 days. So during this period, I would then be sent by my GP to go and see all these different specialists. Nothing that they did, or first of all they couldn't find anything. The blood tests and cameras stuck down my throat and through other areas I don't need to mention. So blood test after blood test, research after research, they couldn't find anything. So 10 years after that, I discovered through an illness that I got that was really challenging for me. The nurse suggested that I try alternative medicine, and specifically massage. So I went and saw this massage therapist. This is back in '94, so 20 years ago, and she was also an herbalist and a nutritionist. So by that time, when I saw her 10 years after having severe constipation, I was a bit of a mess. Bearing in mind that also during that time, I'd been on antibiotics every single day for those last 10 years. So my state of well-being was, I was struggling. And I was also eating, let's say, the equivalent of the standard American diet, but back in the UK. And I'd also taken a lot of recreational drugs. So, as I said, I was a bit of a mess. 20 years later, here I am, really heavily into natural health and wellness, with a big motivation to try to, first and foremost, address this constipation issue that has still gone on. Yes, I'm now able to go every day, for the last 20 years, but in order for that to happen, even after all of the cleanses that I've done, all of the herbal supplements that I've taken, all of the nutritional protocols that I've gone through, all of the different therapists that I've seen, and all of the different things that they've suggested that I've followed religiously, cleanses, 2-week cleanses, 4-week cleanses, 40, 50-day cleanses, where I would just do juice, and I'm not talking light juices where, maybe I was doing a lot of sugar or whatever. I'm talking hardcore green juices, lots of herbs in there, for 30, 40 plus days, and taking other things to try to address my intestinal terrain, my whole digestive tract. I've spent basically 20 years, you could say, diligently trying to address the not just really the constipation issue, but also now the ripple effects, the ramifications of being in that situation for so long. This is what I've been trying to consciously address for the last 20 years. Nothing has been able to do that. For the last 20 years, in order for me to go to toilet every day, I've had to do one of two things. Either take some kind of herbal formula with some kind of stimulant, you know, Cascara Sagrada or something else along those lines, or I've had to do an enema. Up until 2 months ago, every day for the prior 3 years to that, I'd done an enema in this house. This is where I live. I find Body Biotics 2 months ago. Just came across it serendipitously online, and you know, after reading the testimonies and looking online for a few days, you know, I would keep going back. Every day I would look at the site and look at different pages, and you know, if you're anything like me, you need probably a little bit of convincing now after being in this field for so long, you know, 20 years, and diligently researching and trying all kinds of different things. You come across a lot of things that promise a lot, and you find out that you know what, you're not actually delivering what you're saying is going to happen by taking this product. So I obviously experienced some of that when I started to look at the website, especially when you read some of the testimonies. You know, you're like, wow, is this for real? But I also knew from doing a lot of research the importance of addressing the microbial terrain in our bodies. And I also knew from research that for years now we've been eating food that is depleted, whether it's organic or not, it's depleted of that flora, that critical flora. So as I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, if this product is for real, it is actually a proper, true probiotic in the way that I've, you know, had it expressed to me in the past, you know, if it's a real probiotic, which I'd never experienced up until that time. I thought I had, you know, so I'm looking at this going, okay, maybe this actually is something that's really going to help me. So after a few days of, you know, as I say, looking at the website, I ordered some, started taking it. Within maybe 5 days, could be a week, I go to the toilet. I'm like, alright. I think I missed a day or two, went to the toilet again. I'm like, wow, okay. I think probably that carried on, that kind of going for a day, missing a day or two, going, that played out for maybe a week or 10 days, and then I start going every day. And it's pretty much been the same since. I think, you know, in the last, let's say, 50 days that I've been going regularly, I may have missed 3 or 4 days. But and when I have missed a day, then I go early the next morning and I really empty out. And I go, you know, most days now I'm going 2-3 times a day, sometimes even more. The change, I mean, the life-changing effects of that, when you go from being having severe constipation and then having to change so much of your life to try to address that. You know, you're looking at your diet, you're looking at all kinds of things. because the ramifications of that, the tension within the body, you know, the feeling, if you've experienced anything like this and you know what I'm talking about, to start to have that after 20, nearly 30 years now, to start to have that change at such a deep fundamental level is life-changing. Now, not only is this taking place now, my energy level is just constantly increasing. My inspiration, my sense of just feeling more up and feeling more alive, feeling more inspired, feeling more motivated, naturally, not, you know, because, you know, something's come along in my life that's really kind of like cool where, oh, that's what's motivating me. No, things that I would like to have been motivated and inspired about before, and I was trying to get inspired and more motivated and more committed, that now is just naturally happening. How cool is that? How life-changing is that? Is this more our natural state? You know, when our bodies are working more in harmony, because ultimately for me that's what I feel I'm experiencing. And when you look at the research now, which since becoming aware of Body Biotics and genuinely experiencing what I've read about from, you know, all of the science that I read before about the importance of the intestinal tract and the bacteria and the flora, now I'm actually experiencing directly those shifts and that impact. Now I'm a kind of just a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a vacuum for all that information, and the amount of information coming out now, like on the second brain in our gut, 70% of our immune system, I think more than 70% of our immune system, right here, more than 90% of the cells in our body, non-human, bacteria. So I'm like, wow, I feel that I'm not just experiencing this and understanding this from a mental, cognitive level. It's like, wow, I feel that that's actually revealing itself in an embodied way now as I start to shift. That's really cool. The other thing that I'd like to share with this is, after I started to experience the initial shifts with this, the initial changes, I started to share this product with my kind of like my closest circle of friends. You know, I've been into health and wellness for a long time, and my immediate circle is also very much into health and wellness. It's kind of, you know, maybe I'm a bit of a, you could really say that's what my life has turned into, you know. So some people wouldn't even want to know me because so much of my life is about health and wellness. So it makes sense, I suppose, that my immediate community, my immediate circle is also very much into health and wellness. So I started to share this with them. They're experiencing the same things. You know, and they haven't got necessarily, you know, I don't think any of them, actually a couple of people had constipation, but also with other things that happen, you know, through whether it's just a challenged digestive tract or some other way that it would show up. Basically, some other way it would show up through having this depleted microbial kind of inner terrain, which so many people is now struggling with. Obviously that shows up in all kinds of different ways. So no matter what the person has been struggling with, every single one of them are starting to see shifts taking place. I don't know anything else that has been so across the board. I've come across so many products, so many therapies, so many modalities where I've known people that have had a profound impact, that have had a profound healing experience. I've either heard of people, known people directly, or heard from someone else, which is then kind of, gives you a bit of a motivation to then go and try that product or try that modality, and nothing happens. So it doesn't mean that product isn't important, isn't powerful, isn't impactful, doesn't have the capacity to really help you. But so many things they have a narrow window, you could say, of the people that they're going to affect. I've never come across anything that's having such a broad, massive impact for every person that I've shared this with. That to me is just, again, speaks to, you could say, and confirms the research that is now coming out, that is confirming the absolutely essential impact that the bacteria, the microbes play, not just for us with our direct health and wellness, but just life in general. It's just been an incredible experience, and this is just 2 months in. And as a good friend of mine said to me the other day, who's a well-trained wellness professional, they're trained in different modalities. He said, Terry, and he's also taking this product, he said, look, what you have to realise as well is it's going to take you a good several months for the real extent of impact, of benefits to really show up. So what I'm experiencing now is just really the start of it. So I'm literally licking my lips. I'm going, wow, if I feel like this now, what have I got to look forward to? I don't really know what else to say. Actually, I did write down a list here, so I just want to make sure that there isn't anything that I've missed. Yeah, I mean, I just came across it online. I know I put that down. Just a couple of months, I've been taking it, and within a few days. Oh, you know what? What's also really, I think, an important point to make, and I'm sharing this because it was my own perspective, but also a very common thing that I've had shared back to me from the people that I shared this with: the price of the product. I mean, when you look at the price and the impact, as I said, the broad-reaching impact, no matter what you're struggling with, that price, how much money, if you're into health and wellness, how much money have you spent on whether it's one product or several products that you maybe are taking every day, every week, every month, that could be running you hundreds of dollars? It's not even worth thinking about. It's not even worth thinking about. I mean, talk about the bargain of the century. That's the way I look at it, anyway, personally for me. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than I'm sure you can see and sense that I'm incredibly happy, and I would, if you're anything like me, you've been around the houses, you've taken product after product, I understand that, and you've got reservations, I understand that, but hopefully from hearing this, this will give you the motivation needed, the confidence needed to take a chance, because ultimately you're not taking a chance. It's not a gamble. It's not, I can't imagine anyone not benefiting from taking this product. I can't imagine it. I haven't seen any evidence of that so far. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.